Hi guys, it's CK Rook here, and welcome to my Friday vlog. Whee! So, there's a lot to go through, but let's first off start with the two changes I've made. Now, my brother's wedding in. I will talk about my brother's wedding, but let's talk about the two changes I've just done. First one is my hair. As you can see this time, some of you might not know, but I completely shaved it now, so it's actually skin now, no sort of hair at all. It's kind of a bit weird. I'll have to get used to it, but hey. The second one is I'm starting to grow a beard, so that's about a week's growth, and hopefully I'll have a lot more before long, and I'll have a proper beard growing down here, like a proper bushy one. We'll see what goes, depends how long until I get annoyed with it, but yeah. So I'm growing a beard and a shaved head. So, right, my brother's wedding. So obviously, my vlog went up before my brother's wedding on the Friday, but my brother's wedding on the Friday, we went down, me and my brother, to the actual wedding venue, the hotel, where the wedding was, because all our relatives were staying there. So we had a nice chat with the family. It's really good to see my family. That's the family. We don't meet up enough because we're all over the place generally. It was good, it was we good to have a chat. We talked about, had huge old stories from everyone. The most funniest thing from the night is when my uncle swore and my mum hit him for it. It's like they were back being kids again. It was great to see things like that. So yeah, that was good. The Saturday before the wedding, now my brother at that point turned into a complete arse. Before I go on, obviously I was best man, but I wasn't the only best man. There were three of us. My other two brothers were best men, so we all had a specific task. My task was to make sure, to get him ready, keep him calm, and get him to the wedding. He turned into a complete arse that morning, complete arse. I could have hit him. If he weren't my brother and it weren't his wedding day, I would have hit him. He would have been that much of an arse, I'll be honest with you. Really, really much of an arse. So we get ready, gonna tie, he kept retying to crevasse. It was just not perfect. It was perfect, because every time we redid it, it was exactly the same. And then this handkerchief, don't even get me started, right? Okay, you were just being a complete and utter arse. But this is then when I had my first panic attack of the day. I was at my brother's. We were completely dressed up, ready to go, waiting for our pickup. And then I started sweating, started shaking my panic. I basically had to walk into the kitchen and around it, like their usual room where they've got like a little bathroom. And we had to wash my face and dry it off because the panic attack was really hitting me really bad. And my brother, I noticed something, but he just thought I was getting nervous when actually I was having a proper panic attack. And I just calmed myself down and get myself going again. And then our lift came and picked us up, which was what my brother had as their wedding vehicle. It was a VW camper van, really, really well done out, really nice. A proper German import as well. It was a really nice car, really, really nice. So that came and picked me and my brother up, took us to the wedding venue, and then was going to go and get the bride and everything. So me and my brother turned up. Brother, because of my best man duties, I was standing at the front with him. Was it for the ceremony? So as his bride came down, so that was a really proud moment for me to be able to stand there with him and see everything. And I could see him, he was trying not to cry as she came in, and I could see that she was trying not to cry as well when they saw each other. That was really just a really good moment. Both of them sort of crying. My mum then, part of the service, were doing a reading of a poem. She decided that she wasn't going to use a chair. She didn't want to do it in a chair, and she didn't want to be seen up there with a stick. So she went there and she did amazing. But because she didn't have her walking sticks now, she started shaking, and started wobbling. Her knee, you could see her knee was starting to go, and so she was only up there. Was it 3 minutes of that? And it looked like she was going to fall over. So me and my brothers were all then stood. It was sat on the edge of our seats, plus my dad, waiting just in case she started to go for one of us to go and grab her. But it's great, and then the ceremony was concluded. My other brother, he signed the register and looked after the wedding certificate and everything. And now I have a sister-in-law. Yeah, so my elder brother's now married, and I have a sister-in-law, which is great. I have a sister-in-law, yay! So then basically, after the ceremony, we had Pims and a quick chat with everyone, a couple of photos there, and then confetti and all the rest of it. And then we went to a castle to have some nice wedding photos done. So that was great, but the only problem then it comes with my mum, because my mum is, my mum's chair, we couldn't get a wheelchair up to so then she had to walk up rough terrain. It's not steps or anything, just rough broken terrain, and she had to walk up on her sticks. which wasn't like the best. And so when she, obviously my dad then, he basically, obviously turned the motors off, and then basically pushed, dragged, and kind of lifted up there so she had somewhere to sit down when she got there. But getting up there took quite a lot of her out of it, and then coming down, she literally had no energy. Then when she came down, basically because then we got back to the venue, and then obviously there was an hour or two before well, about an hour I think before we had to then have food. So then my mum was sitting there just exhausted, and then we had food, and then we had the speeches, which was great. My brother mentioned just a second ago, my other brother again, he then did a speech, and his speech was basically, he had me in tears, he had my mum in tears, he had my other brother in tears, he had my aunties and my uncles, he had everyone in tears. Basically, he didn't go for the funny, he just went for the heartstrings, and then basically he pulled them out. I mean, one thing he said, which is so true, as a family, we're not a family who say I love you at all. We're not a family who say that, but we don't need to, because the actions that we do towards each other is, shows it. I mean, yeah, the bastard for that, tugging on our heartstrings like that. Yeah. One thing I will say, I was sat at a table. I don't have a photo of it because I don't really think it's a good idea to show you a list of people's names, but basically it's a collection of all first Welsh names you could ever imagine, even all the obscure ones there at this wedding. Because my sister-in-law, all her family, first language is Welsh rather than English, so it was kind of nice. It was, it's kind of quite mixed, because my well, I don't know if he's my father-in-law, but the father of the bride, he basically did his speech in half English, half Welsh, which was great, because he didn't just do it for, and also the wedding ceremony is a half Welsh as well, which is really good, because the reading of the vows is he did English to my brother, and then he did Welsh to my sister-in-law, which was great. It was quite good. A lot of people liked it. But yeah, there was quite a few people on my table who were Welsh speaking, and basically there was one, they were talking, and I was trying to join the conversation, and they started speaking English because I joined the conversation, and this guy opposite me then said, "Oh, sorry, I don't really understand English." Right, so I talked to my brother later, and he said, "Oh, he does. He was just being a dick." So the guy is an actual dick, yeah, for doing that, a complete dick. Why do that, Yeah. Anyway, moving on from that, yeah. So after the speeches, I had my second panic attack, and basically this one was one of those ones when I just need to get out, and I have to get out. So I got out of the wedding venue, I got out of the hotel, and just started walking down the street. And I don't know when I was going. I don't know how far I would have walked. I could have probably walked out of the town that we were in, and before I probably stopped and turned back around. I could have walked for an hour and then walked back an hour, because I've done that before. But my brother then saw me and said, "Oh, where are you going?" And I was like, "Oh, nowhere, no." And then I just had to just stand there, try not to panic attack in front of it, in front of him. So yeah, so then obviously there was the dancing, and then obviously the first dance. And now, as I mentioned earlier, my mum was completely absolutely knackered. My mum went to sleep after dinner, because basically dinner finished around about 5. It's 5:30, maybe. Let's say 6 o'clock. And then the cake and stuff wasn't done until about 8 o'clock. So my mum went to bed, and basically she slept with that. She came back and she was just sitting there in a chair like that. She was really not with it at all. And then obviously she said to me that she wasn't going to dance the first dance because she just couldn't get out of her chair. So she was just there in a wheelchair. And obviously my brother was dancing his first dance, and then just out of nowhere, I just saw her grab my dad and drag him onto the dance floor, and it was such a moving thing with her not having any energy whatsoever. We managed to dance. I think she ended up holding on to my dad more than dancing, but they got up, and it was so amazing. And not long after that is when I had my third panic attack of the night, and basically I ended up having to sit in the corner of the room just with my back to the wall so no one could come in behind me. I just sat there for a little while, just trying not to jump, basically. That faded away eventually, and then I was able to dance and have a laugh and have a joke. It was great. I had quite a few drinks, which was nice as well. And then me and my brother, who did the speech, were the last ones to leave. Basically, he'll claim he was the last one to leave because I let him, because he basically was 3 seconds behind me. So yeah, but it was a really good night. It was such a good night. It was a really good wedding. Breakfast in the morning I was really disappointed with, actually, in the morning, because basically they brought my food out, and I was like, well, okay, they're going to bring my toast out and my cup of tea in a second. And they ended up waiting 20 minutes, and they still hadn't brought it out, and by that stage I gave up and just ate my breakfast. So that was, and then also there was the salty potatoes weren't there either on the plate, so basically they didn't even bring me half my breakfast, which was really annoying. And then my brother, who obviously was the last one to leave, basically he ended up falling asleep on the table. I kind of fell asleep on my hand like that. I wasn't fully asleep, but I was asleep. So yeah, that was kind of then that sort of lunchtime, and my mum had all her family around for like coffee and cake, which was nice, because we then had a bit more of a chat by that stage. Then they all left, and then this is the point when I decided I was going to talk to, because it was just my family there, and I was going to talk to them. It would be basically, not my brother who got married because he was going off on his honeymoon to Barcelona, nice. I was going to go and talk to them about my depression and my anxiety that I've got at the moment. I need to phone them actually about that. I got to do that this week. I'll do that tonight. No, I won't be able to do it tonight. It's gone 8 o'clock. I'll have to do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. So I'll phone them, and then I'll go and have counselling then. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that, but I need to do it because always. And so yeah, because I was going to go and talk to them anyway, sidetracks. Because I was going to talk about that. Basically, I had another panic attack, and basically, I basically sat inside because they were all outside. Because it's an early day. I went and sat inside and had I basically just sat there going until eventually I went outside and I didn't talk to them about it at all. And then later that day, very late that day, I was then talking to my mum about it very, very briefly, just very quick, because one of my brothers was, both of my brothers actually were out, I think, at the time, so I was able to just talk to my mum very briefly, not in any specific terms, just very, very briefly, very quickly, so at least talk to them about it. My mum knows about it now, and she can probably tell my brothers. I don't know if she will, but yeah. And then something a little bit weird happened. Sorry, this is really long stuff because I've only just done the weekend now. The end of that night, basically, my brother's girlfriend, the one who obviously signed the register, his girlfriend has now moved in with my parents. Basically, the story which I don't want to go into about it because it's not my place to. But basically, yeah, she's now living with my mum and dad. Which my mum and dad are fine with, because just show that my dad then the next day went into the garage where he's got all furniture which he's using for storage tools. He take all the stuff off that, took the wardrobe apart, cleaned it, and then started giving it a first coat of paint. So basically, stripped all the paint, cleaned it and everything like that, and started painting it again. So he's then going to paint that, probably give it another coat of paint, then varnish it, and then put it back together, and then that'll be her wardrobe. So my parents are making her feel welcome, which is great. I just hope my brother's okay with it. Let's scroll down because I've got so many. Those you don't know, I write down points so I can remember what I'm going to be talking about. Yeah, so then the next day I went to go and see the dentist. Basically, he checked my teeth. I said, "Yeah, your teeth are fine. I'm just going to take an X-ray just to see." So he took an X-ray, and she's like, "Oh, you need a filling." So then he basically injected me, and basically my left side was all pins and needles. Then for the whole time that was happening, it was like, I don't know exactly what I was meant to be doing, but it was alright. That went away. My clutch, I don't know if I mentioned this before. My clutch is going on my car. I need to get that fixed. It'll probably last for at least another year, maybe a bit more, but that's going to have to get fixed. I'm going to have to look into that. It's going to cost me a bit of money. I'll just talk very briefly about work. It was really weird being back at work and stuff, but I met this really nice guy. One of the suppliers, basically a Spanish guy. I'd like to work for their company because no shirts, no ties. He's wearing jeans, trainers. A nice polo shirt. It was really nice for him. Yeah, really good. But yeah, he was very kind. I mean, I talked last week about how people have been rude to me in meetings. This guy was really concerned. He was really talking to me. Chatting to me, and he was like very friendly. And I think Europeans have got a better attitude towards meetings than us Brits. It's just the way I've seen it by going to meetings. I did tweet early this week that basically I wasn't going to any gigs in August or September. Basically, that was because I was going to basically save up to get myself a gaming PC instead of using this laptop. And then bands start announcing gigs and everything. So now I'm going to load. I think I've got 5, maybe 6 now that I'm going to. Yeah, so I think I might go and see New Year's Day in October, but I haven't booked that yet. I'm trying to see if I can beg Steel borrow time off work to go on that one, because I really don't have any holiday left. I've used all of it to either go to bands, see bands play, or go to my brother's stag do and wedding. So I'm going to need to figure out what I'm going to do there. But I want to go and see them. I'm trying to look at it. The only thing that stopped me from actually booking it is the fact that it's quite a big venue, and I'm not sure how well I'll do with that kind of crowd. But we'll find out. We'll find out. Because I'm kind of okay when the music's playing, but when it's not, it's not. Yeah. So I'm probably buying a gaming PC August now or September, because my money's now going on gigs again. So I'm even going to one on Monday. Because originally, oh, okay, I'll only go to ones in Southampton, and then all of a sudden now I'm going to loads. Some of them, one in Manchester as well. Yeah, so also this week, well, yesterday in fact, I went to an open mic night because some guys from work, like trying to, play in a band, just doing some acoustics. Really good, actually, really good. I thought they were really good. Yeah, they were really good. I really enjoyed myself. There was also someone who played there called Soggy Benson. Now, I'm sure I've heard of him before, and the songs that he was playing, was it Council Estate Love? See, this is how I know. I can even remember the songs. Council Estate Love and Council Estate Love Story, sorry, and On Hire or something like that. Yeah, I'm going to try to see if I can find him on Twitter or something. But yeah, because he was really good. I'm sure I've seen him play before as well, which is weird, but yeah, probably something like The Hobbit or something I've seen. Anyway, guys, that's the end of my list. I'm gonna let you go because this has been on for quite some time. Hope you enjoyed this video, hope you had fun, and I'll see you next time. Oh. See you guys.